Okay, in the previous class, we have seen how to measure the horizontal angle. In today's class, we will be discussing regarding how to measure the vertical angle. Now, what is vertical angle? Now, suppose this is point A and this is point B, right? And I am having my theodolite over here, right? This is your theodolite. If I want to measure, right, the angle between these two, right? If I want to measure the angle between these two, right? This is your, suppose this is the point A and point B. If I want to measure the angle alpha, how I will be measuring it, right? So that we are going to see. This is the vertical angle that we are going to measure. So here is your theodolite, right? This is your theodolite, how you are going to measure the angle that we will be seeing in this particular class. Okay, now we will directly move, right? A vertical angle is an angle between the inclined line of sight and the horizontal line. Now, this inclined line of sight is nothing but your inclined line, right? Or might be it is an or depression according to the object above or below the horizontal plane. Now, this is your horizontal plane, right? This is your horizontal plane. If it is going to called the elevation, now this angle alpha will be called elevation, right? This angle alpha will be called an elevation, right? And the angle beta, right? The angle beta, that we call it as a depression according to the object situated above or below the line. Now, A is present above the horizontal line, and this is B is present below the horizontal line. So, this is above point from the horizontal line. Whichever the point is above the horizontal line, we call it as an elevation, and we call it the B point as this particular angle as a depression angle. Now, this A and B here in this particular diagram, it is an elevation angle because this is your horizontal line. This is your horizontal line, right? Your angle A and B, whatever you are going to measure, right? This is an elevation because this is your horizontal line. It is exactly on 0. It is exactly horizontal. So B point is situated exactly on a 0 degree. So we call it as an horizontal angle. Okay. Now this we call it as an say horizontal line, and we call that this particular diagram as the elevation. Now suppose, right? Now this is your point A and this is your point B. Now, where does your horizontal lies? This is your horizontal line of sight. Now, here you are going to measure the angle A and B. This we call it as an angle beta, which is the depression, because the angle that you are going to measure between the point A and B, it is below the horizontal line. This we call it as a depression, the angle of depression. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll go ahead. I hope what is inclination, what is elevation, and what is your this thing, that is clear. Now we will see how to measure the measurement of the vertical angle. We will see how to measure it. To measure the vertical angle of an object A at station O, right? To measure the vertical angle A, which is going to be situated at O. Now, set up the theodolite at station point O, right? Set the theodolite at this particular point at station O and level it accurately with respect to the bubble tube. Now, when you are going to, right, when you are, see, this is your theodolite. This is your theodolite. When you are going to set it at a particular location, what it is saying, set the theodolite at station O, level it accurately with the reference to the altitude bubble. Here, this is your vertical circle bubble. Horizontal circle bubble is over here, right? This is your vertical circle bubble. So whenever you are going to level it with the adjusting of your all the 3 screws, you need to see, right? You need to see whether your vertical bubble is exactly horizontal or no. Your bubble will come at the center if it is properly leveled. So this is your theodolite, right? This is your theodolite, right? This, when you level it, after keeping the instrument, when you level it, the what are temporary adjustments, right? What are the temporary adjustments we have seen in the previous class? So temporary adjustments are nothing but it is centering, leveling, right? What are temporary adjustments? Centering, leveling, and focusing. So we need to do the centering, your level centering and leveling by fixing at point O, right? So here, what we exactly do is we will be making this particular thing. We will have the centering, and we will be having this making this leveling, right? So then set the theodolite at station O and level it accurately with reference to the altitude bubble. Set the zero of vertical vernier exactly to the zero of the vertical clamp, right? And the tangent screw. Now what you are going to do is you are going to, now this is your, it is reading an elevation angle. Now what you need to do is, now you need to make this telescope exactly horizontal, where zero of the vertical is going to meet with the zero of your vernier. So here you are going to make it exactly, right? Here you are going to make it, right? What you are going to make it is, here you are making it exactly horizontal. Now this is your vertical circle, right? This is your telescope. This is your telescope. You are making it exactly horizontal. This is your eyepiece. You are making exactly horizontal. Now here, zero of your vertical scale is going, the vertical circle is meeting with the zero of your vernier. So you need to keep it exactly at horizontal position. Okay. Next is set the zero of the vertical vernier exactly zero of the by rotating the vertical clamp. Now this is here, some here it comes, now in this particular diagram your clamp is not visible. Here by tying that vertical clamp, right? They are tying that vertical clamp, right? You will be see here it is your vertical clamp is situated. So by have tying that, or by losing that, you can rotate your telescope up and down. So you have to lose it before you make it a zero, and when it comes exactly to the zero, you need to clamp it. Okay, set the zero of the vertical exactly to the zero of the vertical clamp and the tangent screw. Bring the bubble of the altitude level in the central position by using the clip screw. Line of sight is made horizontal till it reads the zero. This is what I have explained, right? Now, what I have explained is you lose it and make it exactly zero, and then when it comes to zero, to clamp it. Loosen the vertical clamp and screw and direct towards the telescope. Now, after making it zero, right? Suppose if you are going to look over the here, right? If you are going to look over here, right? So what you are going to do is, right? Now you will be, again, this is your vertical circle, right? This is your vertical circle, right? Here, suppose if the object is here A, right? Now what you are going to do is you will be rotating your telescope, right? To look at that particular, okay. Now here what you are going to do, you have either it first it was here, now you have loosened the clamp and you are seeing the object A. Your line of sight is over here. So now this is what the angle alpha is. Okay. So this is how. Now bring the bubble of the altitude in a central position by using the clamp. Loosen the vertical clamp. Now again, in order to lose, right? In order to either first it was at zero. Now, in order to bring the angle of elevation, what you will be doing, you will be again losing the clamp. Once you bisect the object A, again you are going to tighten it. Again you are going to tighten it. Lose the vertical clamp and screw and direct towards A and sight it exactly by using the vertical tangent screw. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Now, read both the verniers on the vertical circle and the mean of the two vernier readings, which you will give you the exact required angle. Now, what you are going to do, you will be tightening after bisecting it exactly to the point A. What you will be doing, you are be tightening the screw and you will be reading both the vernier. You are going to read both the vernier and you are going to take the average. Change now again here. This is one reading you have done. Now again you are going to transit the telescope, and you will be continuing the same procedure with the this you have done with the face left. If you have done with the face left, then you will be repeating the same procedure with the face right. With the face right. Right. Change the face of the instrument and repeat the process. The mean of the two vernier readings gives the second value of the required angle. Right. So if you repeat the same procedure with the face left and the face right, you are going to get the exact value. The average value of the 2 points is obtained and the required value of the angle free from the instrumental error. So this is how you are going to measure the angle. Now, for measuring the vertical angle between the 2 points A and B, again, you will be doing the same procedure. Okay, so you will be doing the same procedure. So this is how you are going to measure the vertical angle. Is it clear? Yes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will
Yes,
see.
sir.
Yeah, tell me. Yes. Yes, any doubt? Any doubt? Somebody said, sir. Is there any doubt or shall I move ahead?
No doubt,
Shall I
sir.
repeat it? Shall I repeat it once again? Shall I repeat it once again?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Shall I repeat? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. 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 I'll repeat it once again so that the various things will be clear. Now, what is vertical angle if the 2 points A and B are there, right? What I will be doing now, this is your angle of inclination, right? Inclination or elevation is what if the point A line above the horizontal line. If the point A is going to lie above the horizontal line, right? This is your horizontal line where your zero of your vertical scale is going to meet the zero of the vernier, right? This is your exactly the horizontal line of sight is. So here, if the point A is situated above the horizontal line, then we call it as an angle of elevation. Angle of elevation, right? And if it is below the horizontal line, right, we'll take it as a C. If it is below the horizontal line, this angle will be called as beta, right? If it is below the horizontal angle, right, horizontal line of sight, we call it as an the angle of depression. If the point C is going to lie below the horizontal line, we call it as an angle of depression. Okay, this is clear. Next is, now what we need to do is we need to measure the vertical angle present between the point A and B. Right now, we will consider set the instrument at O and level it with having the altitude bubble. Right now, set the instrument at point O with having this bubble exactly at the center. This is your vertical circle bubble. We will make it center. Then what we will be doing, set the zero of the vernier exactly to the zero of the vertical clamp and the tangent screw. Right now, what we are going to do is we are losing the vertical clamp, and what we are going to do is we are bringing the zero of the main scale with the zero of the your vernier. So we will making this telescope exactly horizontal. Exactly horizontal. Now it is reading the angle of elevation. Now what we will be doing by losing the clamp, we will be by losing the upper clamp, we will be making this telescope to rotate, and once it is going to reach zero of the mean scale and the zero of the vertical scale, again we are going to tighten it. Now if I want to measure the object at the angle of elevation between the object, right, between the object A and B, what I will be doing, I will be losing this particular clamp, I will be making the telescope to move up and down. So what I will do is I will be losing this telescope, your upper clamp, and I will be bisecting it with A. Once I bisect this particular point A, what I will be doing, again I will be tightening this particular clamp, and with the help of tangent screw, I will be checking whether it has bisected it or not, and I will be tightening both the upper clamp and the tangent screws. And then what I will be doing, I will be checking the reading of the verniers, both the vernier A, C, and D. Okay, so vertical, both your vernier, here it is going to have the two verniers. I will be checking both the readings, and I will be noting down. Now Now transit your the telescope, right? What I will do is I will transit the telescope and I will be repeating the same procedure what I have done, right? I will be repeating the same procedure what I have done, and I will be noting down the values of the vernier both A and B, right? And then both the averages of face left and for face right will give me the exact angle of elevation, or if it is a depression, it is going to give me the exact angle of depression. Is it clear? Yes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Shall I
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall I go ahead with the next thing?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now we will see how to prolong a straight line, right? If I want to prolong a straight line, how I need to do it, right? Actually, this is not there in your syllabus, but they may ask. So that is the reason why I'm telling you this. How to prolong a straight line, that we will see. There are two methods by which we will be doing it. One is the foresight and one is the backside, right? That there are two methods will be there, foresight and the backside. Now what you will be doing here is, first is foresight method we will see, right? You will be keeping your instrument, set the theodolite at A, level it accurately. You will be keeping your instrument over here, you will be leveling it properly, and you will be looking, bisect the point B, and you will be looking towards, right? You will be keeping your instrument, leveling it, and you will be looking towards the point B, right? And establish point C in the line beyond B approximately by looking over the top of the telescope. By through the gun point, right? Through the gun point, what you will be doing, you are seeing the point A and you are bisecting point B, and in the same line, what you will be doing, you will be checking, right? Whether from A you can look towards C by keeping a ranging rod, you will be bisecting over here and you can see the point C, right? So you will see that B and C will be in a straight line. Okay, by looking over the top of the telescope and accurately bisecting through the telescope. So from A you will be keeping your instrument, B and C you will be bisecting it. Now shift the instrument to B, right? Here after doing that, you will be shifting the instrument B, right? From A you have shifted it to B, and what you will be doing, shift the instrument to B, take the foresight on C and establish the point D. By keeping the instrument at B, right, you will be seeing towards C, and you will be seeing that the point D will also be in a straight line. Repeat this particular process until and unless you reach the point Z, right? Repeat the same procedure until and unless you reach the point Z. So this is what your by foresight method is. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Keep instrument at A, look towards B, and you also see that the B and C are in a straight line, and then you shift the instrument to B, right? After shifting the instrument, you see bisect C, and you should see that C and D in a straight line, right? And you will again see, again you will repeat this particular process until and unless you reach Z. Okay, this is how we are going to have the prolong the straight line. Okay, now what is a backside method? Right, now what is backside method is, set the instrument at B instead of A. What I will be doing, I will be keeping the instrument at B, level it accurately, backside on E. Now this point, the A point should be already known, right? If you want to go through the backside method, what you need to do is, the point A should be already known, and directly you will be setting the instrument at B, and you will be backsighting it against A. Then again, what you are be doing on a side, tighten the upper screw and the lower clamp, right? Tighten the upper screw and the lower clamp, and what you will be doing, you will be transiting the telescope and you are going to look at C, right? You are going to, here once you have seen A, right, here you will be keeping the instrument. Once you have bisected the point A, what you will be doing, you will be transiting the telescope. Transiting the telescope is nothing but, it is from here, if suppose here this is your point B, right? Now your IPC is at here and you are looking towards the point A. your eyepiece is here and objective is over here. Now, if you transit, what will happen? You will be losing the clamp and you will be transiting. Then your eyepiece will be at A and object will be at C. This is your point B, right? And you will be transiting towards C. So this is what you are going to do over here. So B, you are sighted at A, and then you will be transiting your telescope and looking towards C, right? Shift, then establish point C in the line beyond B. Now what you will be doing? Shift the theodolite to C, right? Shift the theodolite to C, and backsight. Again, you will be doing the backsighting of B and foresighting of D, right? Shift from when you have kept the instrument at B, you have backsighted A and you have foresighted C. Now, when you shift the instrument at C, again you will backsight at B, again you will be having the foresight at D. Now, repeat this procedure until and unless you will reach the point Z. So, this is how you are going to prolong a straight line. Okay, this is how you are going to prolong a straight line. So, next is you will be seeing, right? Now we will see what are the different permanent adjustments that we need to do, right? Different permanent adjustments that we need to do when we are working on a theodolite. Now, the temporary adjustments you already know. Now we will see what are the permanent adjustments. Now, there are two types of arrangements, right? Temporary adjustments and the permanent adjustments. In today's class, we will be seeing towards the permanent adjustments of theodolite. Okay. In case of the theodolite, the permanent adjustment is nothing but, right? We are going to have the permanent adjustments now. So, adjustments of horizontal plate. The axis of the plate levels must be perpendicular to the vertical axis, right? Adjustment of horizontal plate level. That means, what is horizontal plate level? Horizontal plate level is this, right? Now, horizontal plate level, in order to have the permanent adjustments, what is the making the horizontal plate level exactly perpendicular to the vertical axis is, this is your vertical axis, right? Look at the cursor. This is your vertical axis. If I want to be exactly perpendicular, this particular level, right, horizontal plate level, if I want to be exactly perpendicular, then, right, what should I do? I should do the leveling properly, right? I should do the leveling properly. So, make this horizontal plate level. This is your horizontal plate level, right? And you should make it exactly perpendicular by leveling it. So, that is the meaning of your making, right, adjustment of horizontal plate level. The axis of the plate level must be perpendicular to the vertical axis. Okay. The line of collimination adjustments. The line of collimination should coincide with the axis of the telescope and the axis of the objective slide to be at the right angle to the horizontal axis, right? Now, the line of collimination should coincide with the axis of the telescope, right? And the objective side should be the right angle to the horizontal axis, right? Now, this line of your axis of the telescope and the line of your collimination, they are exactly, it should be the horizontal to each other. So, this is your line of the collimination. It should be exactly horizontal. It should not be, say, up and down. The line of collimination, it should be exactly horizontal. It should not be up and right, up and down. Okay. Now, next is the horizontal axis adjustments. The horizontal axis must be perpendicular to the vertical axis. This is your horizontal axis, right? This is your, wherever your telescope is mounted, right? This is your horizontal axis, and the vertical circle is your, right? This is your vertical axis, right? This is your vertical axis, and wherever the telescope is mounted, the Trunnion axis, whatever we call it as, right? If it is perpendicular to each other, then we will say that it is perpendicular. If it is completely, it is making an angle, the horizontal axis, right? This Trunnion axis and this vertical axis, if it is perfectly perpendicular to each other, then we can say that it is properly permanent adjustment has been done. Okay, adjustment of the telescope level or the altitude plate level, right? This telescope level, when both the telescope level, right, the axis of the telescope level or the altitude right, level must be parallel to the line of collimination. That means your this, right, this level, altitude level and the horizontal plate level, it should be exactly at the center, and that means it should meet exactly with the line of collimination. One means whenever your telescope seen, right, or the object what you are going to look at the telescope, when this is telescope is exactly horizontal and this is exactly the bubble tube at the center and the horizontal plate level are at the center, then we can say that, right, then we can say that what the adjustment of the telescope level or the altitude levels with the at the plate levels. Then we can say that the line of collimination, both the telescope levels are exactly parallel to the line of collimination. Now, vertical circle adjustments. Now, vertical circle vernier must be 0 when we are going to take the reading, when it is going to meet exactly the line of collimination, then the vertical circle is 0. Right. So this is what the different permanent adjustment is. Okay, is it understood? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Okay. So I'll repeat it once again. What are the different permanent adjustments? Right. So permanent adjustment, horizontal plate level must be perpendicular to the vertical axis. Line of collimination should be exactly horizontal, right? And horizontal axis adjustments, it must be perpendicular to the vertical axis, right? Adjustment of the telescope level and the altitude level. Both the level should be exactly meet with the line of parallel to the line of collimination. Vertical circle reading should be exactly at a 0, right? So these are nothing but the different different things that we have studied. Now we will see how much portion is remaining in our module 1, right? How much portion is remaining in your module 1? We will see it. Okay, now what is theodolite is covered, and instrument adjustment, theodolite and types, right? How many types are there in theodolite? Can anybody tell me? This is revision we are going to do. Okay, because I want to have this trigonometric leveling in the next class, we will have the revision. Okay, theodolite and its type. How many types of theodolite are there? Yes.
2.
Which are those?
Transit and non-transit.
Very good. Very good. Fundamental axis and parts of theodolite we have understood, right? We have seen it with the watching the video also, and we have seen the different parts of the theodolite. What is Trinion axis? What is Trinion axis? What is Trinion axis?
Horizontal.
Okay, horizontal
Horizontal
axis.
axis.
Very good, very good. On horizontal axis, what is mounted? Yes, on horizontal axis, what is mounted?
Telescope.
Yes, very good. Telescope is mounted. On vertical axis, or what is mounted? On vertical axis, what is mounted?
Horizontal circle. Horizontal
Yes.
plane.
Yes, horizontal plate or horizontal circle. Good. Uses of theodolite we have seen. Then we have seen the centering, leveling, right? Temporary adjustments of theodolite, centering, leveling, and focusing. This is what we have seen. The measurement of horizontal and vertical angle. Just now we have seen in the previous class, we have seen the how to measure the horizontal angle and how to measure the vertical angle. Now, step-by-step procedure for obtaining the permanent adjustments that we have seen in the transit theodolite. In the next class, we will be discussing regarding the trigonometric leveling, right? Measurement of heights and distances by single plane and double plane method. This is what we are going to discuss in the next class. So our around 70-80% of the module 1 is get over. Now we will see what is trigonometric leveling, and we will be solving the problem on this in the next class. We will be seeing what is trigonometric leveling, and then I think within 3 or 4 classes, this trigonometric leveling will be get finished. So probably we will be by the end of this particular week, or say 1 or 2 classes in the next week, we will be able to complete the module 1. So So we are going to discuss regarding trigonometric leveling in the next class. Okay, anybody is having any doubt on theodolite? Theodolite?
No, sir.
Anybody is having any doubt, any kind of a doubts, small doubts?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
I hope,
No, sir.
yeah. What?
No, sir.
Yeah? No. Okay. So I hope everything is clear, and are you happy with the things going on in the class? Yes. Is there
Yes, sir.
any improvement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Not okay. Fine. So we will end the session over here regarding your first part of a theodolite. If any doubts are there in the theodolite, right, we can discuss, right? Then we will see what is the trigonometric leveling in the next class. We will be solving the problems on your trigonometric leveling, right? We will be having some of the case studies in this. We will be solving also the problems on the transit theodolite. We will be discussing the problems on trigonometric leveling in the next class. Okay. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.